Aye, beautiful beings, I'm Crystal and welcome to day 27 of this 31-day self-love yoga journey. Today, we're gonna play, so get yourself ready and let's begin. We're gonna get started today in a comfortable seat of your choice. So come and join me down on the ground. Wherever you arrive, lift up through the spine. And we're gonna get started off this playful practice today with doing something called horsey lips. So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be breathing in through the nose if you can. And as we breathe out, we're gonna flutter our lips, making this kind of sound. So we're going to do this 3 times. So let's breathe in and release. And again, inhale. Let something go. One more time. Give it your best. Gorgeous. Now we're going to do a little bit of yoga for the eyes. So let's take our gaze to the right and to the left, to the right and left, back to the right. Now take your gaze up, over to the left and all the way down. Reverse, over to left, lift your gaze up, to the right and all the way down. Let's keep this diamond shape going. So go with this flow, going to the right, looking down, going to the left, looking up. So take a wee moment here to actually think about when was the last time, if ever, you've moved your eyes in such a way. So feel this interesting connection here through this eye movement. And let's also switch, reverse the direction that your diamond was going in. So this is helping our brain focus as well as improving our memory. It's also been said or suggested that isolated eye movements can help us process trauma. So trust this process here with moving your eyes. Let's do one more diamond shape. And then let your eyes rest. From here, some more yoga for the brain. Let's take one hand up to our head as we pat it. Take the other hand to the belly as we rub our belly. Noticing just how you get on with this exercise here. And we're gonna switch, so swap your hands, patting your head, rubbing your belly with the opposite hand. And with an exhale, relax your hands down. We're now gonna take our fingers to interlace and circle through the wrists one way. If you're anything like me, you'll be hearing a bunch of clicks and crunches. Welcome it. Give those wrists some love through your movements. Maybe switch, take your circles in the opposite direction. And then making a wave-like motion with your hands. So stretching through your fingers, through the wrists, helping the energy to flow. And with an exhale, relax your hands down. We're going to make our way to all fours, so coming to tabletop. And then walking our hands forward an inch or two, spreading out through the fingertips, tucking the toes under and sending the hips up and back to downward facing dog. With an inhale, take your gaze forward. We're going to step the left foot up in between the hands. Take as many steps as you need to get that foot up there. You can even use your hand as a guide. Lowering down the back knee. So just see if it feels better to have the toes tucked under or the foot flat. It just changes how it feels on that back knee. You might also want to add a little bit of extra padding with your yoga mat. You're most welcome to do so. So we're in a kneeling lunge here. Front knee over the front ankle. With our left hand or the hand next to our pinky toe, we're going to inhale as we reach it forward, then up, and exhale as the hand starts to float back and all the way down. Inhale, reach forward and up. Exhale as the hand starts to float down. So keep this motion going with your breath. Feel this generous opening up through the hips. Let's do 2 more circles here. And the next time you exhale, releasing your hand back to the earth. We are now going to shift into a lizard by moving the foot closer to the side of the mat to create more space in the hips and to create space for the left hand to come to the inner part of that foot. So your toes are pointed out to the side of your mat. And we're here, we're in a lizard pose. So we've got some variations that we can play around with. We can stay where we are. We also can lift the back knee, or we can keep it nice and low. We can stay lifted up on the hands, or we can lower down onto the forearms, interlacing our fingertips. So you can play around with these different layers, these different variations. See what works best for you. And whenever you land, make sure you breathe deep. Big, big, big hip opener here. You can either be in stillness or you might find such a gentle sway in the hips. Wherever you are, we're going to shimmy that foot so it comes back to the middle of our mat. Hands frame that front foot and step back to downward facing dog. Taking a moment here to bend into one knee at a time, allowing for us to reset before coming into the same thing on the other side. With your next inhale, take your gaze forward and step the opposite foot up in between your hands. Taking as many steps as you need, using your hands if you need to. Lowering the back knee and finding your foot positioning. So whether the foot be flat or the toes tucked under, maybe using your mat for some extra padding. So connect to your roots. Front knee over the front ankle, hug the thighs in towards one another. And with an inhale, lift your right hand or the hand next to your pinky toe, forwards, then up. And exhale as it comes round and down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale as the circle continues. So keep this going, keep this flowing with your breath. Big opening for the hips, as well as opening up into that shoulder. Let's do 2 more circles here. And the next time you exhale, take that hand back to the earth, shimmy your foot so it goes off to the side. Lizard pose. So, options to play around here. We can stay lifted on our hands, or maybe we can lower down onto the forearms, interlace the fingertips. Keeping the back knee connected to the earth, or lifting it up. So taking a wee moment just to see what feels best for me. And it may be completely different on this side from the other side. Perhaps taking a wee moment just to notice how either side has felt in comparison to one another. And you may be in complete stillness, or you might just find a really, really gentle motion through the hips or the legs. Breathing deeply. And from here, we're going to take that foot back to the middle of our mat and step back to downward facing dog. With your next inhale, take your gaze forward. We're going to step our feet to meet the backs of our wrists, so you can step, you can hop, you can float. Landing in a forward fold. Bend through your knees as generously as you need to. With an inhale, we're going to lift up halfway. So slide the hands to the shins or the thighs, coming to a nice neutral spine. Exhale to fold. And with an inhale, lift and rise all the way up. Lean back slightly. And exhale, float your hands down. So we are going to now move through something called a dynamic twist. You can either have your feet hip distance apart or just a little wee bit wider. Make sure that we've got at least a little micro bend in our knees. And we're going to be swaying from left to right as we let our arms just be loose, be free. So our hands will really, really gently hit our body. So we're going to inhale as we move to the left, exhale as we move to the right. So whatever pace you're going at, link the movement up to your breath. Maybe lifting the corners of your mouth into a smile. Maybe closing your eyes to take your awareness within. Perhaps thinking of something which you are releasing and letting go of through this movement and motion. And we're just going to start to slow it down, until eventually we stop, landing in stillness. Take a moment to pause, breathe, allow the energies to settle. Let's breathe all the way in, and with an exhale, sigh it out with an ah sound. Inhale to breathe in and release. Ah, beautiful. If you are not in the middle of your mat, like myself, I invite you to come here to the middle of your mat. And so just look down to where the top edge of your mat is. Gauge how many steps that might be. There's an invitation here to close your eyes or soften your gaze as you walk with awareness to the top edge of your mat. Of course, if that does not feel good for you, you don't have to do that. Keep the eyes open. But otherwise, closing the eyes, really feeling the earth beneath you and stepping forward slowly, feeling into each step as you make your way to the top of your mat. Once you feel you've arrived, open your eyes, look down, see where you are in space. And with an inhale, lift and reach your fingertips up. Lean back slightly and exhale to fold. We're gonna step one foot back, lower that knee. Step the other foot back, lower that knee. Crisscross your ankles behind you, come through to a seat. So from the seat position, we are going to take the left hand down on the mat beside us. And with an inhale, lift and reach the right arm all the way up and over, leaning over to the side. So feel this beautiful opening up through the whole side of the body. Keep your gaze lifted, heart lifted up. You can either stay on your hand or you may be able to lower down onto the forearm. Just whatever you are, make sure that both the sits bones are grounded to the earth and we're not tipping ourselves up like a teapot here. So feel this expansion that you're creating through the sides of your body. And with an exhale, we're going to float that hand down so it comes just beside our other hand on the mat. Let's paint a rainbow. Take your hands all the way to the opposite side. And with an inhale, lift and reach left arm up and overhead as we stretch through the left side of the body now. Gaze and heart are lifted up, either on your hand or you might be able to lower down onto the forearm. Make sure that you're nice and grounded onto the earth. And just notice how either side has felt in comparison to one another. With your next inhale, lift up, rise up, and exhale to rain the fingertips down. So before we come into complete relaxation, we've got a little moment here where we can just take any movement, any playful motions, sounds, vibrations, whatever it might be, let it come through, let it come out, breathe and move for just a few moments here. Finding any expressions your body is searching for. Just a few more breaths. And returning to stillness. So you can either finish off this practice in a seat or you might want to lie down on your back. Wherever you are, invitation to close the eyes. Find length through the spine. Feeling the body to earth connection. So by finishing in stillness here, we're allowing for all of the playful energies that we've just created together to settle and land within our entire being. And may this be your reminder to welcome more play in your day-to-day life. So often we take life so seriously, but if we were to free ourselves like our sweet child self, we would be able to experience that play, that wonder, that curiosity, just like we used to. You are welcome to stay here in stillness for as long as you need. Otherwise, starting to wiggle through the fingers, the toes, opening up the eyes, stretching your body out in any way that your body is calling for. And if you are ready to finish this practice here and now, then I invite you to join me in a seat if you're not already here. With an inhale, we're going to lift and reach our hands up to the sky, palms kiss. With an exhale, take our hands down in front of heart center. Breathe in here. And as you exhale, bow your head to your heart in gratitude of yourself for showing up for this playful practice, and bowing in deep gratitude of the ancient practice of yoga. Sealing this practice in with any words, phrases, chants, anything at all that feels aligned for you. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.